Welcome to episode 2 of Ask Tom. This is the one where we will get into the nitty-gritty and start answering some questions. There were a lot of questions, more than I expected, so we're not going to be able to get through all of them. If I don't answer your question, you can ask it again in the comments of this video or post a new one, because I still have that question. If I need to go back and get questions, I'll go to old videos. I appreciate all the input and the questions. It's awesome. I'm excited to get into it. So let's go. First question, King Pickle 27 asks, how do you like your steak cooked? Medium rare. Easy as that. And there's another one that's similar to that. I think it's at the end here. Hogan Turner, tacos or burritos, steak or hamburgers? Tacos and burritos, it depends on my mood. We're here in California, some of the best Mexican food outside of Mexico. A good carne asada street taco, can't beat that. Big fat burrito. I'm not a big fan of some of the chain burrito places. I love the authentic Mexican food. And then steak or burgers, I like steak. Burgers, I'll eat them occasionally. We have In-N-Out, we've got Five Guys real close, but I feel kind of gross after I eat a burger sometimes. Steak, I like steak. I don't eat it very often, maybe once a month, but I still love it. Next question, DFlowers 1029. What type of camera do you use? I use a Canon 70D with a Rode microphone. It's a good setup. Matthew Majera, are you insane? I don't think so. Do you ever get that feeling like, maybe I am insane and everyone's just being really cool about it? Or maybe I'm messed up in some way, most likely mentally. I can tell that physically I'm all right, but what if I'm just out of my mind and everyone around me is being cool to me, supporting me and making me feel good about myself? And I wonder that sometimes. Maybe I'm just... If that's true, don't let me know. If I am crazy, if I am mentally disabled or whatever, don't bother telling me. I'm happy like this. And thank you for playing along. Zachary Wilson, would you use a Rabel 2? Absolutely. Good head. Joe Harris, what do you think of English lacrosse? Just elsewhere in general, compared to American lacrosse, as in its setup. Why is it so superior in North America? That's just time. We've been playing lacrosse for a long time, just even in the US. The East has played a lot longer than the West, and so obviously most D1 colleges are back there, and they're spreading. We got to Denver, but still, that's I don't consider Denver is West. I don't really consider it West enough for me. We need some D1 schools in California playing lacrosse. West Coast lacrosse is now we're getting there. East Coast is they've been doing it a lot longer, and so they're more established. And then you look at Europe compared to the U.S., it's the same thing. You look at some of the Scandinavian countries that are starting to play lacrosse, big hockey countries, they're going to be good, especially box lacrosse. But, also field. Soccer is huge in Europe, the world, and it definitely can translate to lacrosse. It's just time. Everything's going to balance eventually, and it's going to take quite a while, but I'm looking forward to it. Massimo Capozza. Hey, my name is Massimo, and I was recently at a Princeton Lax camp, and I met this kid from San Fran, and he said you coached him, and his name was Luke. Yes, that is true. Luke is a kid I've coached for 5 or 6 years, and he's a phenom. He plays up 2 levels. So last year, I coached a 13A team, which was comprised of 7th graders. 7th graders were the impact players, and there were a few 6th graders also, who didn't really, 6th graders tend to not get a lot done at that level. Some do, but it's mostly the upperclassmen, 7th graders. But Luke was a 5th grader, and he was, starting attack, second leading scorer, man up, just complete baller. He was also my biggest attackman. So this kid, the kid you met, Luke, is a baller, and he's going to go far. A-List Lax asks, what are your favorite gloves and way to tape your stick? This is how I tape. Little donut up to about there, and then 2 heavy, these stick out quite a bit, these 2 little rings. I just like the way they feel. Favorite gloves? My favorite gloves are the G22s from way back. Those are still my favorites, but now modern gloves, I would say the STX Surgeons. Those things are awesome. Colin Howard asks, where do babies come from? The butt. Achilles Armendariz. That's an awesome name. Achilles. How do I get discovered by colleges? I'm from a state that no one knew had lacrosse teams. I'm from New Mexico. Getting seen, getting discovered, it's tricky, it's hard, especially if you're not in a hotbed. Really, you need to get to some showcases. If you can't get on a travel team to get to these showcases, just find out if you can be a free agent, if you can contact the tournament directors and ask, get your name on some kind of free agent list. Like, if any team needs bodies, I can get there. And you'll have to get there. It's hard. You can't just hide out in your little corner of the woods and hope. You got to get yourself out there. Find colleges you like. Start communicating with coaches. Get some footage. Get someone with a good camera. Shoot in high def. Get yourself some highlights and just start working it. You really have to kind of sell yourself, and it can be hard, but it's also doable. Lobo Lax Strings. Can you give a shout out to the Lobo Lacrosse Club in your videos, please? Because my coach does not think you will. Shout out to Lobo Lax. Take that, coach. Don't ever doubt your players. I'm kidding. You can doubt them. Kelly M. East Coast Dies or String King? I've never actually used String King. I felt it briefly. I've never thrown a pass or caught a ball with String King, so I don't know. I do have a couple sticks with East Coast, the Hero Mesh, and I like it. I don't believe I ever used the regular East Coast mesh, the wax mesh, but I do like the Hero Mesh enough, so I just don't know. Jacob Rosado asks, what is your most favorite die you have done? That would be the brick wall die. I really love that one. That was cool. Danielle Grover asks, can you talk a little bit about your U13 team? My U13 Red Star Bears team, or probably that. There's a highlight video on my channel of that. We went to a tournament last February, maybe March, something like that, and we won it, and it was awesome. It's probably going to go down as one of my favorite lacrosse memories. It was my U13A team that I coached during the spring. A couple kids were missing. They really came together. We played wonderfully. The boys had a blast. We were all Red Star Bears gear. I made pennies, I made shorts. I let them wear whatever kind of helmets they wanted. Most of the guys are on travel teams, so we had all different kinds of helmets, which was pretty cool. Through 5 games, 43 goals to 13, I think, something like that. So we dominated. Ben Devine. What are some good drills for a lacrosse team? I'm 17 and I coach 7th and 8th grade lacrosse out of Vermont over the summer, and most of my practices are just shooting, passing, and scrimmaging. That's a good question. I love any kind of build-up drill where you get you've got defense down low and middies and attack, all offense up top. You start with 1v1. Roll a ground ball out for the offense, and it's just a 1v1. Come out, stay high, prevent the shot on defense, get them out to the alley, low angle shot, and then you add another offense. So now this defender, and this is all on the fly, real fast. So you add another pass it in or roll it in, whatever. Now it's a 2v1. We want to draw, we want to dish, we want to score. Then we add another defender. Now we're 2v2. Set picks, 2-man game. Take it below. Anything you do, V-cuts, take it open. And then we add another offense. Now we're 3v2. Same kind of thing. Draw a dish, hit the open man, working around, keep it hot. And then you just keep going until you're at 6s, 6v6, and then you're running 6. And then when you're running 6s, you can change it up. You can send a defender to the box, say, man down, and then make them adjust. Offense, you can even make offense go man down, and then we've got to kill, we've got to possess, get wide, get high, through X. Those are fantastic drills. And one of the things that's really important with that is, as you're building up, as you're unsettled, have the defense talking, calling out the set. If we're even, they need to let everybody on the field know that we're even. If they're man down, they've got to find, if it's a 4v3, they go triangle. If it's 5v4, they go box. But on the fly, loud communication. So those are the kind of drills I love. West Jenny is a drill I love. It's conditioning, it's fun, it's competitive, and it's fast. That's a great drill. Anything situational, you have to break it down. You got to do the boring stuff, but situational drills, they're just key. That's what's going to make your team a better team in games. Andrew Tab, did you ever consider joining the military? Yep, briefly. Hey, that might be cool, but I'm super lazy, so it seemed like a bad idea right off the bat. Wax Lax, box or field, I love both equally. They are both awesome games, and it kind of bugs me when, you know, box only guys are just like, oh, field sucks, and field only guys are like, box sucks. I'm like, are you kidding me? They're both so epic. They're such great games. Just watch both, enjoy both. You can learn something from each. Declan Ferris, is it bad to use greasy balls for practice? Absolutely. I know some old school coaches are like, oh, you got to be able to use any ball. No, you need to use what you're going to use in a game, and brand new fresh pearls in a game, brand new fresh pearls in practice, as much as you can. I mean, I know balls get greasy throughout the course of a season in practice. Rough them up however you can, get a ball resurfacer, whatever, but don't use greasy balls. You know, put them in the bottom of the bucket. When they come out, throw them off to the sidelines. Don't let them be in play. Clear Lacrosse, what is your favorite color? Green. Favorite color is green. Jack Kilalia asks, I really love lacrosse, but I'm worried now that I'm at the high school level, it might be too intense and I won't be able to compete. Jack, you know, fear of failure, that's crippling, and get rid of it right now. You may not be able to compete. You may be awful, but you don't know until you find out. And I guarantee if you get in there, you do the work, you'll be fine. But to just maybe not do something because you're worried that it might not work out, that'll hold you back forever in everything. You don't know until you try, and if you're truly trying, you'll be fine. All right, guys, thank you for your questions. Post more questions below for the next episode. I didn't get to all of them. I know there was a lot of them. I'm going to have to edit it down, and I don't know if this could be a really long video, and I may have to figure out how I'm going to do it. I don't really want to put up 20-minute videos of me answering questions, but we'll see. All right, so ask more questions down below, and stay tuned for episode 3.